Welcome to the Saturday Top-Up Show. Good morning, GP.
Yeah, g'day, Mike. G'day, viewers. Light on scratchings. The weather's holding here in Coogee. Still dark, but
in busy drizzle. It's some light rain around. Look, I suspect that won't linger into the meeting, but is holding the track back. So Randwick has been wetter than expected its last two meetings. So I'm not holding out great hopes for this track being just dead. So obviously wait on that. But yeah, the cloud cover and the drizzle that is around is not helpful. Got an interesting meeting, obviously two Group 1s, and I'll just mention at the beginning that Dave Dwyer throughout the Autumn Carnival is offering money back for second and third on any Group 1 races.
Wow.
Up to $50 in bonus bets, fixed odds only. So that'll be on 3 races today because, of course, the Australian Guineas, which we didn't mention on the preview show yesterday, is on in Melbourne today, and Ollie Kirk is backing up off his inglorious run in against the older horses in the Futurity last week. But I had a look for Andrew, our ranter, who was keen for us to talk about it, and I couldn't make much sense of it. The filly won the 1400 metre, her 1400 metre lead up by a big space, but didn't run the same time as the males. Neither race really interested me. I think Tagaloa is the shortest out of the main lead up. He, of course, ran around the same price. He's run the same price as Ollie Kirk in the Caulfield Guineas. So yeah, look, nothing to like, I thought. Anyway, back to Sydney, and of course G-Boss turns up today because it's a Group 1 day, and we kick off with a highway. So I'll quickly bring up our screen, and that's not the right race. That is, of course, the Surround Stakes. So let's get back to the highway. The favourite is Firm. As you can see, they're nearly 8,000 matched in the 260 range. And Gord's horse Superior Witness is firm as well in just in the low double figures. But not much intel apart from that, obviously.
Number 1 looks particularly firm at that range, 6-1, mate.
It does too, it does. So I'm pretty sure it's longer fixed odds, unless something's changed. 750 is a few joints. Yeah, weird things happen to Betfair at this time of the morning, don't they?
I got the mail last night at Canterbury on this good man, Tommy Marquand.
Yes, well, there were a few ranters keen to pitch in as well. They say he's been out for 3 days. Is that what you heard?
He got out 3 days ago, and apparently they asked him to go back in for another 2. The Racing New South Wales or the stewards or someone asked him to do another 2. So he only got out, from what I'm hearing, yesterday. He's riding track work this morning at Randwick. He's backing up on Mr. Magical in the first here.
So he might need a few rides, Glenn. He might be good by the end of the program. Or
I hope he wins on Mr. Magical, because I would back Mr. Magical for a good result there at $12. I think it's got a good that's good odds.
I tell you what, but it is one of those nuanced aspects that create a fair bit of uncertainty. I mean, you know, once upon a time you go, oh, look, you know, I'm not even sure about backing this jockey because they've just jetted in, but now you've got another complication layered on top.
Jetted in 2 weeks of prison with bad meals and stained beds from every other bastard before you. I say the conditions are terrible.
They wouldn't be top drawer, that's for sure.
Anyway,
this race gives us the cider at the track, and the favourite is a horse of interest that's likely to be down on the inside. So some sort of litmus test for the inside.
Yeah. Clearly it'll be favourite number 6 and be hard to beat. I don't know if I can win any money at that price range, I could admit.
No, it just seems a little too tight for me. All right, race 2 is Waller's pulled out one of his runners here, and Captivant is the firmer, and it's looking firm on the fair there too. And Shakiro, which they were trying to say was, well, they were trying to say 5-4. Well, it's looking like 5-2, isn't it?
It looks a lot like 5-2, and I suppose it never looked like 5-4.
No. Well, I mean, Good had the narrative for it. Halal, obviously, the more of the wild card look about him with that midweek, but devastating midweek on the conveyor belt at Kenzo. And look, you'd be keen to get a look at these two, especially the top two, Glenn, because number one's been in Brisbane for a fair while, and number two is obviously returning in its second prep.
Yeah, and I'm picturing these capitalists as they have a few months off. Gee, they're going to grow. They're going to be like little manicados, all of them. Gee, they've got that same big keg body.
Right, like Dad?
Like Dad. And yeah, can't wait to see him.
So Manicato raced till he was, what, 8? Capitalist had to pull the pin after he couldn't come back off his slipper win.
That's modern racing, mate. You used to buy bus tickets to get on the bus once too. Things change.
What do you do now, Glenn?
I don't know. Apparently, I don't know. I tell you what you do. You don't get a bus.
Gee, I nearly got run over by one of those Randwick trams yesterday. They were humming along. I thought they were snails. But anyway, they're just outside Moore Park. All right, so that's the opening 2-year-old race. And the Phillies race, the favourite is 270 with Top Sport and 250's next best anywhere else. Tab into 240. 5,000 match there on the fair at high twos. Number one pretty much remains where she is. Not much to report, really. I suspect that go on.
A typical Phillies race for this time of year. Every year we see this. We always see a better sized field than the boys, and it throws up some results.
Yeah. This is the race Stella Pauline went around evens last year in the small field.
Wow, she went around 20-1 last night.
Hungry Heart mowed her down, and Hungry Heart's only win.
I think only win, isn't it?
I'll tell you very soon.
I think it's
only win. Hungry Heart. Yeah, Heart mowed down Stella Pauline in this race last year. Look, once again, we've got an interesting favourite there. Number one has it's also had a few runs away. Mallory looked to get some sort of PR in a dodgy lead up at Rose Hill, but she's been back to the trial since.
The power of gold with number 7, it's into $13.
Yeah, look, I left it in, Jamea, but I must say, Barrier 1 leaves me a bit cold for that style of horse.
Seems a tight price.
All right, race 4, the Liverpool City Cup. Now, Creaderis is the firm one.
Power of gold.
Most matched here, low fours. Grey Worm looks a bit easy. I'll tell you what, I did get a late feel for Deprive here, Glenn, just resuming at this level with Nash on board. I know he seems to have lost his way, was the go-to Randwick horse once upon a time. But anyway, Grey Worm and Discharged are in the van here, and Gord suggests that Creaderis will settle closer than either the map or normally indicates. Interesting race, I suppose.
Yeah, just another race, man. I think Discharge is certain to lead. I think Creaderis is going to be in the finish. Grey Worm's going to take. We talked about that race quite a lot yesterday. I don't think much has changed.
No.
Oh, you found Deprive from nowhere, but it's more your love affair of Nash, which I understand.
We all have our penchants, Glenn.
We sure do.
Race the mares. I was sticky about this race yesterday. I still am. It's the Sweet Deal resuming at 1400 that's got me tricked here. An Ice Bath and Tricky Gale out of the lead up, Realm and Ruby as well. Emeralds is firm here. It's into 650 fixed, but you can get $8 there on the fair. And Sweet Deal is supposedly firm as well, but Pineapple Race, Glenn, you got something?
Pineapple Race. Yesterday I like Sweet Deal from Emeralds. They were the two I mainly like. Nothing much has changed. Can't wait to see them parade.
All right, race 6 is the feature, I suppose it is, Chipping Norton Stakes. If they change the name from the Canterbury Guineas to the Randwick Guineas, why can't they change this name as well?
Yeah,
and the Liverpool City Cup. If they're not going to run at Warwick Farm, just get rid of the names.
Yeah. The Coogee Stakes.
Right. So
or the Kensington Stakes, or the Randwick Stakes. I don't know. What would you call?
there is a. Did they change the Canterbury Stakes name to Randwick Stakes? Isn't that on next week? All right. Very Elegant obviously remains our favourite. Colette is the second pick. When I had a fresh look at this race again, I thought that Fun Star was a bit long. But certainly, look, the track holds the key to this race as well, because you look at Colette's CV now and you just go, well, she's just clearly a wet tracker.
Yeah.
And that's her MO, you know. She dum on the dry-ish tracks, 3 runs back last preparation, and then she found a wet track in the Golden Eagle, bang. And then she finds a wet track first up, bang. And you know, these races are nuanced that way, you know, that you know, they fall into their slots, but then it's all about track condition after that. Avelius returns on a soft track, which he hasn't seen in Sydney for a while.
He's a bloody good wet tracker.
Anyway, interesting. You know, I found this race more interesting than I initially previewed yesterday.
Well, it's interesting, but it's also terribly boring. Like, what's interesting about it is how this horse commands favourite respect after being smashed by the other two first up. I find that interesting, and yet I think 6 is probably top pick like the market. So
yeah, I said $3 in the end. So we'll see how that goes.
Race 7.
Yes. Is the other Group 1 on the day, and this is looking bearish. Money for Never Talk this morning. I'm not feeling it.
That's a ridiculous price. I'd want that price of place.
Yeah, well, look, I've marked it $34 the win, so I guess I am agreeing with that. Dame Giselle, Gord's got the feel for Dame Giselle, but she's hanging in there, but she's a touch easy. Away games double figures there after running 13-8 in the lead up.
Wow.
G-Boss in a Group 1.
Wow. Yeah, wow. And yeah, I forgot it was 13-8 in the lead up. You just did my head in there a bit. And the horse that won the lead up is 30-1. Look at that, every race.
The wild card La Mexicana seems firm there, but I suppose at least it's looking like a betting race. They put on.
It's looking like a betting race for sure. Still particularly keen on number 1, Mark. Still think it'll be in the finish.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing. Firma, 8 diamonds, 101 into 41.
Wow. Did you give it any hope, Mark?
No.
Okay. A very good judge tipped it to me during the week. That was all.
Okay.
Maybe it was his money. Wow.
Maybe. The Penultimate, Great House. 2000 match there. Seems to be a bit too far out from this race. This is the $1 billion betting race, isn't it?
What have I got? I can't remember.
Fever.
What's he got? Skylab?
Skylab.
Okay. As usual, he's got the better odds. Oh, that good. That's the only reason I bet with him.
A couple of interesting things about this race that I noticed with the second look is that Mohican Heights was heavily backed the other day in the 1600 metre pipe opener, and it's 25-1. And Yonkers was given a look around deep on the track throughout at the mile. Bowman seems to be sticking like glue to it. I imagine that it's going to run well today, Yonkers.
As you've noticed in with my Mounting Yard Mail, it's been right up high in my numbers to 2 runs back. So it's parading great. Maybe this has been a target.
Yep. Or it's finally found a situation to run well, because I mean it can't do much at a mile, I don't think, or less. So it's got the favourite to get through, but I suggested it'll do something today, Yonkers. And the last race, well, Zakat is firm. There it is, mid-2s. I must say, off a defeat in Melbourne, I'm a bit yick about this. That just seems a very skinny price. about a last start Melbourne loser, Mexican loser. I'll tell you who has put his hand up as an honest commodity these days is Poetic Charmer. Inch perfect the other day, obviously J Mac, but it's sort of hard to find the Saturday form, isn't it, here?
Yeah, maybe. Like Cat's my top pick. It's the first horse I'll be putting in my quaddy selections in the last, but I couldn't imagine backing in a million years at that price. And I could have bits and pieces on a few other things. Definitely 1, definitely 8.
There's a messy race. Well, the last time they met, Zakat and Bound to Win. Let me just give that line that up for you. So $15 Zakat, $7 Bound to Win on the 10th of the 10th, and on the 19th of the 9th, $6 Zakat, $5.50 Bound to Win. So Zakat hasn't won since then. I mean, he's won well, but yeah, it's just I think that's a bit of a break on the favourite.
Yep.
All right, that's a look at what is an interesting day, and you know, the weather is active and going to play a role, and I suppose it's autumn in Sydney. This is what you get. If you're not a member of Racing...
autumn to Monday, Mark. Don't let go of summer so quick. Didn't even turn up.
Well, I'm gonna say it's not autumn until the equinox, which is March the 21st, 2nd.
Oh wow! Yeah. And I don't even know what an equinox means.
Oh, it's just when the length of the day is equals the length of the night.
I know.
There you go. It happens.
Learn a lot of things here at Racing Rant.
Yeah, and you should be a member if you're not already, because you get the first 2 weeks free, and you get a ton of content. You get access to the chat room, a couple of sets from me a week, the all important last minute mounting yard mail from the track, and yeah, you got to be in it, really.
You got to. Yep, you got to. Yeah, to improve your punting, you got to hang with us, and you certainly get 2 weeks for free, which is pretty fair, and it gives you a good lick of the ice cream.
All right, so we'll catch you. Those of you who are members, we'll catch you on Monday for an edition of the Rant. Until then, I hope today goes well for you.
Good punting.